The snow fell softly that Christmas Eve as Marcus Blackwood sat alone on the frozen park bench. His expensive suit felt meaningless now. The watch on his wrist that cost more than most cars couldn't turn back time. Nothing could. Behind him, the grand Christmas tree blazed with 1,000 lights, but Marcus saw only darkness. His phone had been silent for 3 days. His daughter hadn't returned a single call. 42 years old, and he had built an empire, hotels across 3 continents, a name that opened doors everywhere. But tonight, his penthouse felt like a tomb. So he came here to the park where normal families gathered, where he could pretend for a moment that his life hadn't fallen apart. The tears came without warning, hot against his frozen cheeks. He didn't care who saw anymore. That's when he heard the small voice. A child's voice cutting through his grief like a bell. "Don't cry, mister." Marcus looked up through blurred vision. A little boy stood before him, maybe 5 years old. He wore a puffy red coat and a knit cap with bare ears. In his mittened hands, he clutched a paper bag. The child's face was serious, with that pure concern only children possess. "You can borrow my mom." Marcus tried to speak, but his throat was too tight. The boy stepped closer, undeterred by the strange man's tears. "She makes people feel better. That's what moms do." From across the snowy path, a woman called out, "Tommy." She hurried toward them, and Marcus saw her clearly now, maybe 35, with kind eyes and concern written across her face. She wore a simple cream-colored dress under a long gray coat. Not expensive, but chosen with care. "I'm so sorry," she said, reaching for the boy's shoulder. "He saw you were upset and well." "It's okay," Marcus managed, his voice rough. "Your son has a good heart." Tommy looked up at his mother with those eyes that see too much. "He's sad like you were Mama when we first came here." The woman's cheeks flushed. She met Marcus's gaze, and something passed between them. Understanding, perhaps, or recognition of shared pain. "I'm Sarah," she said after a moment. "This is Tommy. We walk through the park most evenings. It helps us remember." Marcus wiped his face with the back of his hand. "Remember what? That beauty still exists. That light returns even after the darkest nights." Tommy tugged his mother's coat. "Can he share our hot chocolate? We have extra." Sarah hesitated, looking at Marcus properly now, taking in the tailored suit, the obvious wealth, the absolute brokenness. "Sometimes," she said slowly, "the best gift we can give is presence. Would you like to join us?" For reasons he couldn't explain, Marcus nodded. They walked together to a small cafe at the park's edge, the kind of place Marcus would normally never notice. Inside it was warm and smelled of cinnamon. They sat in a corner booth, Tommy between them, dividing his cookies with careful fairness. "One for you, one for Mama, one for me." He pushed a cookie toward Marcus with serious ceremony. "This will help." Marcus hadn't eaten all day, but he took the cookie. "Thank you." Tommy's eyes were very bright. "My daddy's in heaven. He went there last Christmas. Mama cries sometimes too, but she says it's okay to be sad. Sad means you love somebody a lot." Sarah's hand trembled slightly as she lifted her cup. "Tommy." "It's okay, sweetheart." She looked at Marcus. "My husband, Daniel. Heart attack. No warning. He was 38. "I'm sorry," Marcus said. The inadequate words we always say. "I'm sorry too," Sarah replied, "for whatever brought you here tonight." And somehow in that small cafe, Marcus found himself talking about his daughter Rachel, about the divorce when she was 8, about choosing board meetings over ballet recitals, mergers over memories, about the angry text message 3 days ago, the words that cut deeper than any business rival ever could. "I don't need a father who was never there. Don't bother coming for Christmas." Tommy listened with the intensity of children. When Marcus finished, the boy reached across and patted his hand. "You made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But Mama says sorry is a door. You just have to be brave enough to knock. From the mouths of babes. Where did you learn to be so wise? Marcus asked. Tommy smiled. From being sad. Sad teaches you things. Sarah's eyes glistened. After Daniel died, I thought we'd drown. This successful marketing career I'd built suddenly meant nothing. I took a year off. We moved to a smaller apartment. Started walking this park every evening. Learning to breathe again. Learning that wealth isn't measured in bank accounts. She paused. I recognize your suit. Blackwood Hotels. I used to plan corporate events at your flagship property. You probably never knew my name, but I knew yours. Marcus felt something crack inside his chest. Another person he'd never really seen. Another life passing through his empire invisibly. I'm sorry, he said again, but this time he meant it differently. Sarah smiled. Don't be. Losing everything taught me what matters. Your daughter, she's angry because she loves you. That anger is hope. It means she still cares enough to hurt. Marcus pulled out his phone, stared at Rachel's name. What if it's too late? Tommy shook his head seriously. Mama says it's never too late. Not while you're still breathing. Not while there's still love. Sarah touched Marcus's wrist gently. Go to her. Not with explanations or excuses. Just go. Be present. Let her yell if she needs to. Let her cry. Stay anyway. Show her that this time you choose her. That's all any of us really want. To be chosen. Marcus looked at these two strangers who'd shown him more kindness in an hour than he'd known in years. A widow and her son teaching a billionaire about wealth. How do I thank you? You don't, Sarah said. You pay it forward. You become the person who stops at park benches, who sees the invisible people, who chooses love over achievement. Marcus stood, pulled out his wallet. Sarah held up her hand. We don't want your money. But Marcus was already writing his personal number on a business card for when you're ready to return to work. If you want to, my company needs someone who understands what really matters. Someone who can teach others. No pressure. Just a door. In case you ever want to knock. Sarah took the card. Their eyes met. Sometimes she said God puts people in our path right when we need them. Or maybe Tommy does, Marcus said, looking at the boy. Maybe they're the same thing Tommy said, completely serious. The three of them laughed. Real laughter in the middle of grief. Marcus left the cafe. Outside, the snow had stopped. The Christmas tree blazed brilliant against the night. He dialed his daughter's number. His hand shook. The phone rang once. Twice. Then her voice suspicious and guarded. Dad. Rachel, he said. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry for all the years I chose everything else. I'm coming over right now. If you'll let me, I'm not coming to explain. I'm coming to listen. I'm coming to stay. There was a long silence. Then very quietly, the doors unlocked. Marcus ran through the snowy streets, his expensive shoes slipping, his suit jacket flying open. He didn't care. For the first time in years, he wasn't running toward success. He was running toward love. And in the park behind him, Sarah and Tommy walked home hand in hand, their small act of kindness rippling outward like light, changing the world one broken heart at a time. Because that's what real wealth looks like. Not towers of glass and steel, but moments of grace, borrowed mothers and shared cookies, and the courage to knock on doors we thought were closed forever.